how's everybody doing? I hope you guys are all doing fantastic. Back in the, I should just start opening these up like Ty Lopez here in my garage. You know, no, but seriously, back out here in the barn. Got the Cummins here. What we're going to be doing is installing a bed liner on this truck. Everything needs touched up and sanded down and stuff, like everything that's looking kind of along the lines of that. But we do not see the need or purpose in doing restoring the bed. I mean, it's the bed. Nobody looks at it anyways, and it's really in really good condition. Like, there's not a bunch of rust. There's some little orange here and there. God, freaking these birds here. Anyways, we're just gonna sand it down is probably what I'm gonna do, and apply the bed liner to this just up under the lip right there. So not up over the sides. That can also get touched up, you know, where it's in sight. But everything else, going to apply this bed liner. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Guys, I'm not just BSing. We really do have stuff coming for this truck. It just hasn't gotten here yet. Like, it was supposed to be here, but it's not here yet. So we looked up, you know, the details on the delivery, and my dad had put a ton of stuff on delivery recently, and you know, the thing that we ordered like a while ago was supposed to get here after some of the stuff that he just recently ordered. So it's kind of like, yeah. So anyways, we're still waiting on some stuff, and all that stuff should start to roll in here very quickly here, one after another. So we're gonna get to applying this bed liner for this truck. And guys, just know that this is not what this whole build is going to be about, you know, like bed liners and removing strips on the side of your truck and crap like that. Like, we are going to get to engine modifications, we are going to get to wheels and tires, we are going to get to, you know, exhaust related things, but right now this is just the stuff that I can work on right here, right now, without, you know, getting ahead of myself. So here's what we got here. Some jumper cables. We don't need those for the video. Okay, so what we've got in here is a couple of bed liner kit. We've actually got one for our 7.3 liter out there, and then we just got another one for this truck, of course. This is a duplicolor bed armor do-it-yourself truck bed liner. I've done this before on, you know, my trucks. My dad hasn't done it on one of his trucks yet, but I've done it on mine, the one that I had previous to my car that I'm now selling to buy a Cummins. But you know, that's for another video. But yeah, we're gonna get to applying this bed liner. It's pretty simple. I'm pretty sure all you do is you kind of sand down the surface, and then you just kind of make sure everything's clean, then apply it, as far as I know. So if I'm remembering correctly, that's all we really did, and it held up pretty well. Now I'm going to get prepping here to install this bed liner. Okay guys, so I'm going to get into opening up this bed liner kit. Now, I've already used one of these before, and I can tell you right now, everything that you're going to need for the kit comes in it. So, you know, you got your brush, your roller, your sanding stuff, your little tray for the product itself, and this is how it comes. Almost like a tub of paint, you know, just like a container of paint, pretty much. It's a very similar consistency as well. So, pamphlet. So basically, here's a picture instructional thing on how to do, if you don't want to read through all of this nonsense on the back. So on the front side here is a bunch of images basically telling you in order what to do. So all you want to do is make sure, obviously, have your tailgate down, clean it out, make sure it dries, tape it off, sand it down, or you can sand it down and tape it. You know, I don't think that really matters. Make sure the thing is dry. Try to keep up all the, you know, keep as much dust out of it as you can. Of course, there's always going to be a little bit, but try to keep it out. Make sure you take this lid off, of course, and stir it thoroughly. Apply it to the pan, get out your roller, roll it on, remove the tape, clean your equipment off that you use, and then your bed should be pretty much done. So yeah, so here's all the images, like I said, on the back. You know, guys, if you guys want to go check out this bed liner, I will leave a link to it in the description below here. It's an awesome kit, and it turns out really well. Like, we were pretty much comparing this to my dad's Rhino lining that he has in the back of his 7.3 out there, and so that's, I mean, it's pretty cool that it all comes in one little package. It's got everything that you need and it's pretty hassle-free to do this bed liner. It doesn't take a lot of work or effort, and all you got to do is make sure everything's cleaned out, sand it down, and everything else. So our bed we cleaned out the other day. You guys saw that on video. We pressure washed it out pretty heavily. So there's pretty much nothing else in here. There's a little bit of dust in here. I might try to broom out or get out with the rags or something. That just kind of settled from being in the barn with the hay and everything else. But other than that, the bed's pretty much clean and good to go. Okay, guys, I lied. It does not come with everything that you need. It only comes with everything except for the tape. Okay, so yes, you do have to go get your own tape to tape off the bed if you want to do that. But since I don't have any and I'm too cheap to go get some, I'm just going to do it without the tape. I'm just going to make sure that I'm very careful with the brush around the edges, and I can roll the rest, but just use the brush around the edges. And, you know, like I said, be very careful to make sure that I don't get it all over the truck. So since we have this pretty big lip right here, I'm just going to paint all the way up underneath it with the brush, and everything else that's going to be visible will be pretty good. So that's what we're going to do. Like I said, I'm just going to be very careful. If you're not going to use tape, I recommend that you do. I do suggest that you use tape, but if you don't use tape, just be very careful around all the edges, just to make sure that you have everything squared off perfect, you know, before you proceed with the rest of the bed. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure the bed is broomed out thoroughly, and then I'm going to get to applying the bed liner. Now, I do not recommend you just do this in the back of an old rusty bed if you're not wearing shoes. However, my shoes have a lot of dirt on them, and I'm willing to take the chance, so I do not have shoes on. All I have are socks, which should be fine. But, you know, if your truck has a rusted out bed and there's a lot of shards and crap of metal sticking up, I would be pretty weary of just wearing socks. So I'd recommend just wearing your shoes. Just because I'm doing this way doesn't mean you need to do it this way. Okay, my next step is going to be taking this kind of like sandpaper pad thing, whatever you want to call it, and giving the bed a good rub down with this. Okay, now here's something for you guys that may have, you know, fifth wheel hitches, or, you know, in this particular case, gooseneck hitches. Now, I didn't really have a real plan what I was going to do with these, because I kind of forgot that they were there until now. But what I'm going to do is I got some towel here. I'm going to fold it up, just a piece of a garage towel, whatever you want to call it. You know, doesn't matter to me. But I'm just going to take it, pull these hooks up, and kind of wrap them in that all the way around down to where the metal is that comes out on each side. Now I'm sure there's better ways of doing this so that you don't get your tow hooks all marked up, but this is what I'm going to do just so I don't get a lot of, you know, gunk on them. Just kind of pull some towel down around the metal parts. And now for this centerpiece, it's a big enough area that, you know, as long as they don't cover up the entire thing, it'll be fine. So I'm just going to be careful around the edges and not get any of the bed liner actually on the hitch itself. So that's what I'm going to do for that. And now I should be pretty much ready to go in terms of applying the bed liner. Now this stuff, when you open it up at first, it's going to be a pretty thick consistency at the bottom half. So without being too messy, try to stir it up the best you can. Like, see this? That's what it's like at the bottom half of this. And you want to try to mix that up so that it all rolls evenly together. Now I just want to really quick, I'm only 1 hour into this process, so like I said, you know, it doesn't take that long, guys, just so you know, it doesn't take too long to do this, but I'm just going to tell you a tip that I do. I mostly use the brush because you can lay it on a little bit thicker. and it doesn't flick up so much when you're rolling it. But like when I do this, I usually go in the more spots that you got to be more careful, like up on the edge. I usually will go around that all once, as you saw in the in the fast video there, and then I'll go back after I got to this side, and by the time I get to this side, it'll pretty much be dried on, stuck on there by then, and then I'll go over the whole thing a second time, even thicker with that, and then I'll do around the edges and everything, of course, too, and then I'll just start at the back and slowly go everything probably twice and work my way all the way up to the front, so that make everything gets a good 2 coats without having to come out and wait several hours, maybe even till the next day to come out and do a second coat. It takes a little bit more time at first to have to go around and do this again, but I'd rather do it once for 2 hours than once for an hour and then have to come back out and then wait a whole day and then have to come out to do it another hour. I'd rather just do it back to back right at once. So that's just a real quick tip. Now I'm going to get to the rest of this bed here and finishing that up. Well guys, it is pretty much done for what I'm going to be able to do tonight on video. Here's the truck. I hope you guys enjoyed this video for what it was. I wish I could have made the video something more entertaining, but I keep getting, the stuff just keeps not coming in as soon as I thought it was going to be, at least. But here is the Bedliner, and this is what I did today, of course. It looks pretty good. I honestly think it looks really good. It turned out really well, and for not having any kind of tape, my lines are pretty clean. Didn't really get anything off on any of the edges here. Nothing up on the lip all the way around. And what I did was I just took the Bedliner all the way back, and there's kind of a crease right here in the bed where they mounted on this back section back here, and I basically used it as a line, a guideline. Just in case, eventually we do put a toolbox on here or, whatever, like we took that one out, it doesn't slide up against the back of this and hit the paint. And, like I know you guys are going to say, oh, well, what about here? Well, there's going to be foam pads under it if we put it back on here, so I'm not really worried about that. But the back of it, where it's sliding up against, I'd rather have that coated with a Bedliner. So, yeah, that looks pretty good. Turned out really well, and like I said, guys, we're not going to be doing a lot of work with this truck. However, we do want to try to keep the bed preserved best possible. If you haven't seen the other videos and you just subscribed to one of the more recent ones, make sure you guys do subscribe, and if you haven't already, and make sure you guys go back and check up on the videos here while it's not too far up into the build, and just watch the video step by step so you can see everything that we've done to the truck, why we've done it, and you guys can keep up to date. Those of you who are stopping in and you're newer within the last couple days, we've taken off the badging, we took off the toolbox, we took out the old Bedliner, which is laying out over there. We took out some of the seats in the back so we could access the side, the moldings on there. We get a lot of stuff coming up. We're probably going to be doing tail lights. We're going to be doing the grill inserts, exhaust related things, tires, wheels, motor stuff. We're going to be working on the motor, getting some mechanical horsepower upgrades in there, injectors, all that good stuff, turbos, all that crap. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video for what it was. Those of you who are expecting something a little bit different, I hope you guys are still not, unsatisfied with the video. I hope it was still at least of somewhat amusement, maybe some educational purposes with getting your own Bedliner done. If you guys want to do that to your truck, doesn't have to be a Dodge, doesn't have to be a Cummins, but this is just kind of one of those things that is kind of fun to do, and it's good for the truck. Especially if you are going to work it. So let me show you this box over here. I will leave a link to this in the description down there for you guys to go check it out. If you guys got a truck that you have maybe a plastic liner in it, and you don't want to have all that dirt packed up underneath, rusting out your bed, sliding around, making more big gashes in it and whatnot over the years, get one of these. Take that junk out and get one of these Bedliners and roll it in, brush it in, whatever. It's going to be way better for your truck, a lot healthier for the truck long term, and you guys will not be disappointed with it. I had one on my 2001 Silverado, and that truck, I actually worked with it, wood, everything else, hauled it in the back, and I needed to have one, and mine held up very, very well. So we went with the same thing for this truck. Maybe put it to use here and there, probably not a whole lot, but just enough to get our use out of it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Yeah.